Hello and welcome to this episode of Viking News live stream again. This is my first Viking News here in a while since I came back from Sicily. I've been quite busy. So yes, well, it's a little bit late maybe for this live stream, depending on where in the world you are. If you're in America, I guess this is a good time for you to watch. If you are in England or Sweden, this is probably a little bit late, but better late than never. I have quite a few stories here to cover today in this episode here from about news from Sweden. And oh yes, before I continue, let me just bring up the live chat as well, so I can see you guys what you are writing. I wouldn't want to miss that, so let me just bring it up here on my computer before we continue. Let me just bring it up. And yes, I'll also be upgrading so that we can get a better live stream for the future as well. All right, here we go. Now I have your chat up here, and let's get on with it. All right. So, what do we have to start us off with? Well, I can start you off with, there was a new survey out in Sweden about how many want to join the euro as a currency. It was a TNS-SIFO survey made in Sweden. And a lot of people did not want the euro as a currency. I believe I have it. Here it is. Yeah, 74% of Swedish people want to keep the Swedish crown as currency, whereas 26% want to join the euro. So yeah, that's not a big feeling in Sweden for going over to the euro as currency currently. It's people want to stay with the Swedish crown, which is a good choice. And what more do we have? Let's just see what I have so much to cover. I'm just going to pick a few stories here. Well, we can start off with the goings on in Malmö. So the last week in Malmö, well, not this week, the week before, there was 4 explosions in Malmö, 4 bombings in Malmö, in the same city in just 7 days. 7 days, 4 bombings in Sweden. Imagine that. The last one here was a car that was blown up in the middle of the night, 2 in the morning. I have a photo here of the car if you guys want to see. I guess you want to see that, so I will bring it up for you guys here on screen. Just give me a little moment here and I will bring it up for you. Let me find it. It was a nice car, a really nice and expensive car. I think it was a Maserati. I should have a photo here somewhere. Here we go. Let me just bring it up here on screen for you guys so you guys can see the damage. All right, so here you go. Here's the photo of the car, a Maserati. Had the bonnet shredded to pieces. The screen here you can see is smashed as well. And I don't have the photos here, but there were some photos of some nearby buildings as well, which had their windows smashed from the bomb that went off. So this is what this is Sweden now. 4 bombings in 7 days in Malmö. Can you imagine that? It's really getting insane now. I mean, really, it's going way too far. Yeah, and there's also been an increase in grenade attacks as well. If I remember correctly, I don't have the news article in front of me, but if I remember correctly, there's been a 7-fold increase of grenade attacks in Sweden this year. If I remember correctly, I don't have the article in front of me, but I remember seeing it. I will cover it later, probably in my next live stream. We have a 17-year-old was discovered here with knife wounds in Hörby. Apparently the suspect is a 16-year-old person. Of course, the ethnicity unspecified. Everything unspecified. We don't know who these people are, but I have a good feeling that they're probably not Swedish. But you don't know in Sweden about this. A Swedish music festival. Get this. But you probably have heard of all the sex attacks, sexual assaults at Swedish music festivals recently. There was a music festival here where there was 27 attacks in 2 days. So now there's a Swedish music festival here. Helsingborg. This one is in Helsingborg. It's a Helsingborg's music festival. They have a new solution to fight these sexual assaults. What could it be, you ask? More police, more security, arresting people who do these attacks? Well, they have a solution at least, and that is this. These buttons. Jag ser mig omkring. Translated, I look around. These buttons are supposed to stop the sexual assaults at the music festival. That's the great solution that I have in Sweden for stopping sexual assaults. Do you guys have any comments on that? Let me know in the chat here. I'll read the chat now. I haven't been able to see much of the chat until now, so let me just have a look here through the chat before we continue. Look at me, I'm the button now. That's a funny comment. Yeah, I mean, how many of these people can even read Swedish? I don't know. Anyway. Oh yeah, one guy here in the comment asked about pepper spray. Yeah, I believe that's illegal in Sweden. You cannot have pepper spray. So let's go on. A 12-year-old boy has been arrested for raping a 6-year-old girl in Järfälla. People commenting on Facebook point out they claim that he is an Arab, the 12-year-old boy that raped the 6-year-old girl in Järfälla in Sweden. This apparently happened out in the forest. A older person, I think it was a woman, was walking past and discovered what they were doing, what the boy was doing to the girl. Yeah. Yes, Kane in the chat. Yes, the boy is 12. And according to people commenting on Facebook, he is apparently a migrant or is not Swedish. Yeah. Proud conservative here said that they lie about their age. Well, from what I understand, this guy is actually 12. He's actually a kid, this guy. Let's go on to some more unpleasant news from Sweden. By the way, this live stream won't be as long as the other live streams, probably not more than half an hour. If you like this, please leave a like. That's good for the YouTube ratings. More people will see it. The more you like the video, the more people will see it. The more it's going to go up in the ratings. That's how the YouTube algorithms work. Tractor Egg here comments, why is a 6-year-old girl out in the wood by herself? Well, you know, in Sweden used to be safe enough where you could just have kids walking around as you please. In Sweden, it's not unusual at all. Loads of young kids in Sweden just walk around. I know I'm in the UK at the moment, but when I was in Sweden, which wasn't that long ago, kids were just out walking by themselves. When I was a kid in Sweden, When I was when I was 7 years old in Sweden, I was just walking around by myself around the streets, in the woods, no problem at all. Sweden used to be a very safe country, you see. Not anymore. Yes, so progressive, as there's Warren says in the chat. Let's go to our next unpleasant story. A woman was killed right out in the open street in Surahammar. So it was just right in the middle of a busy street. A woman was she was nearly beheaded. She got her throat cut and was killed right in the middle of the street in Surahammar, which doesn't sound very nice at all. What's Sweden coming to? This is like medieval stuff. Beheadings and stuff going on in Sweden now. Now, this is not the first beheading going on in Sweden. A couple of months ago, there was another beheading in Stockholm. So, yeah. Oh, boy. And some more from insane Sweden. The Swedish social services. Now, you've probably seen my video from the social services in the UK taking the kids from parents. Please spread that video as much as you can, because they need help. They haven't seen their kids in 2 years, these guys that I did interview with in Sunderland. So if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. And please spread it as much as you can on Facebook and to all your friends, because people need to see this. They haven't seen their kids in 2 years. But anyway, the social services in Sweden, on the other hand, have recently said that they think that returning terrorists can be good parents. Apparently, that's what they are saying. The Swedish social services. Meanwhile, people with conservative right-wing views, well, they obviously get censored, and well, they obviously are a prime target to get their kids taken. But no, not returning fighters. No, that's fine, according to Sweden. And then we have a woman. She was raped right in the open street in Malmö just the other day. Just happening a lot now, and not even bothering covering it all because it's happening so a lot. But anyway. Oh, and yes, just some personal stuff here as well. You might not have seen, but I have actually started my own website now, petersweden.com, where you can subscribe, because don't let the left censor you. Let's build our own networks. So on my website, you can register to my newsletter, so there you can get newsletters from me, and there's no chance of any censorship from the left, because these are networks that we own ourselves. So let's start building our own stuff as well, so we're not reliant on anyone else. So make sure to go check out my new website, petersweden.com. I'll just type it in the chat here as well, in case, so you can check it out if you want. So go and check out my site, register for my newsletter there, and yeah, you can read my articles as well. I've already put out 2 articles on my website just today. So make sure to go read my articles there as well. So a lot of good stuff going on. Yes, you probably have seen these hate and not hope guys have doxed me, put out my real address and my real name and everything. Like that is going to stop me? Obviously not. It's just going to make me stronger. So I'm hitting back 1,000 times. I'm coming back 1,000 times stronger with my own website and everything now. And basically, because Hope Not Hate doxed me, I'm basically, this is the only thing I can do now. No one's going to employ me, so I'm now going to be dedicated full time to doing this. So congratulations to left. The more you do this against the right-wingers, the more dedicated people you get working on exposing the truth. Oh, and imagine this. Imagine this. The guy, Hope Not Hate, is funded by George Soros. The guy who wrote the article, a Swedish guy, Morgan Finzia, who wrote the article about me. He also works. The article is published on Hate Not Hope, or Hope Not Hate, or whatever the name is. That same guy also works for a Swedish organization called Expo, which is basically the same organization, but in Sweden. And guess what? They're also funded by George Soros. And imagine this. I was recently down in Sicily. This Hate Not Hope group, funded by George Soros, has been lobbying against the people that were down in Sicily. So you had Lauren Sudden, she was there in Sicily as well. Hate Not Hope lobbied against her and had their Patreon shut down. And this Defend Europe mission with the Generation Identitaire, they're getting a ship together to, I believe it's almost there now by the Libyan coast. They are about to start their operation right now as we speak, but they are getting a ship to try and stop, to expose what these NGOs are doing down there. And these Hate Not Hope guys, funded by George Soros, were lobbying and made quite a lot of problems for the Defend Europe mission. They had the crew arrested. They had it was ridiculous how they were lobbying against them, and they had governments. They were lobbying so much that they got governments against them, and it was ridiculous. But they couldn't stop them. They are now on their way. And I was there in Sicily exposing these NGO vessels. And guess who funds these NGO vessels? Well, we had George Soros again. Imagine my shock. We had George Soros funding the NGO vessels. We had George Soros funding Hate Not Hope, doing the hit pieces on me, who are also lobbying against Lauren Sudden, who's there in Sicily as well, trying to expose the NGO vessels. And they're lobbying against Defend Europe mission, who are there to expose the NGO vessels as well. And I was there in Sicily to try and expose the NGO vessels as well. And guess what? Hate Not Hope, funded by George Soros, they had a smear article on me and doxed me. Well, imagine my shock, as Paul Joseph Watson would say. I'm getting quite a suspicious feeling there's some strange stuff going on here, especially considering this Morgan Finzi who doxed me, who wrote the article. His grandfather is Lucas Bonnier. And if you don't know, Bonnier is the... They own all mainstream media in Sweden, more or less. They own every single one, almost. All of the big ones. It's ridiculous. And they are the elite of the elite in Sweden. You know, this is like the Rothschilds, almost. This is how elite these Bonnier guys are. So yeah, about that. I'm just going to read a bit of the chat here before we go on news from Sweden again. And then let me have a look here. What's this comment? Trackrag says that I'm drunk all the time and not on camera. No. No, sideshow Mark. No, actually, I don't drink alcohol at all. Yes, let's continue with our coverage from Sweden. Let's have a look at this. I'm going to show you a picture that might shock you. I'm going to show you a picture that might shock you. It might be a little bit disgusting. So be prepared. Consider this a trigger warning. Consider this a trigger warning. I'm going to bring the app on my screen right now, so you guys can see. Ready? In 1, 2, 3. Here is a headline in a Swedish article called Boråstidningen. Headline: We want to give the kids an experience. And they use this photo here. And it says down here, Ali Panal, Katsem Yokoble, Surat Mohammed Asef, Hadi Mahalavi, and Majid Hussaini visited the sheep at Handbynäs farm in Ljusshult. So they want, the article is about how they want to give the kids, in other words, this guy here, 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 and this guy here, I think, as well. But all of these guys are kids, by the way, for your information. They wanted to give these kids that you see on picture a experience in visiting this farm to have some, I don't know, some therapy or something, or whatever they want to do with these sheep here. So that's what these migrants need. They need to, after a long flight from war-torn countries, they need some therapy with some sheep at the farm, with because they're kids. They're kids, they're poor kids. They need some therapy. They that's what they need. They're poor kids who have been fleeing war, and yeah, that's, and I'm not kidding. This is an actual headline in a Swedish newspaper with this photo. Any comments, guy, in the chat? Let me know. I'm gonna be reading them now. See what you think. Are the sheep safe? Well, I hope so. Green Dream says those aren't kids. Well, don't be racist now, Green Dreams. They are kids. Get that in your head. They are kids. Okay? Don't be racist. Do you hear me? Don't be racist. No, I'm completely serious. Don't be racist. Lisa here says 26-year-old children. Come on, what kind of racist bullshit is this? Stop being racist, guys. Just trying to read some more racist comments. Well, hopefully not racist comments. Stop being racist. Save the sheep. Okay. Actually, in Sweden, Save the Children has a nickname in Sweden called Shave the Children. All right, let's go on to our next story, and I'll probably finish this live stream in about 10 minutes. I don't want it to be too long this time. I have a lot of other stuff to do that I need to. I have another video coming up later today. Just out today, a new research here, a new survey finds that, get this, 81.5% of girls in the Swedish city of Uppsala feel unsafe when they go outside. This figure is up from 55% in 2013. It's gone from 55% to 81.5% in just 4 years. Swedish police says that the reason that they are afraid to go outside is that they get harassed by gangs of migrant youth that attack Swedish girls. This is actually from the police there. This is from the police themselves that said this in Uppsala. They have big problems with so-called with children on the street, living out on the street there in Uppsala, harassing people and selling drugs and so on there. So that's an interesting statistic. 81.5% of girls, and these are actually young girls, so these university students that they have surveyed. I mean, what? Imagine, give it another few years, and that will be 100% of young girls that will be afraid to go outside in the evening. And the reason that they are afraid to go outside is not because they hear stuff, it's because they actually experience this themselves. How long will it take for Swedish people to get angry and demand a stop to this? Because soon 100% of Swedish people will have been experiencing stuff like this, or know people who have been victims of this stuff, you know? I'm just going to go through the chat here a little bit. Yeah, so basically girls can't go outside anymore. That's sexist now. No, hang on. That's racist. It's racist of girls to go outside. Because if they go outside, you know, they are going to... these migrant people can't control. Well, it's racist against the migrants to go outside, because then they could potentially do something that they shouldn't do. That would be racist to tempt them in any way at all to go outside. So if you're a blonde, blue-eyed Swedish girl, it's racist to go outside because of your appearance. You can just tempt migrants with your appearance, so you can't go outside anymore. That's racist now. That's me, by the way, that said that, not anyone else. Any comments? Alice starts a combo if I survive on donations. Yes, I actually do right now. It's true. I actually survive on only donations at the moment, and the ads I get from YouTube, which is not that much. How many percent of Sweden is right-wing parties, the Italians and Tyrannos? Well, these are Swedish Democrats. They are nationalists. They're not very right-wing, but they have like 30% of the vote, somewhere around 25%, I think, in the latest poll. Then there's the moderate party, which is a so-called right-wing party. I would say more center. It's like center. And they have like 20% of the votes. Let me go through some more comments here, and then I will get to a few more stories, and then we will finish this live stream in about 5-10 minutes, I think. One guy in the comment asked about Fria Tider. Well, they are good. I just wrote the article with them. They are a very good news source in Sweden. The best alternative news source, I would say, in Sweden. Just going through some more comments here. Okay, let's go through a few more stories here. A suspected Iranian terrorist was arrested in Sweden. He tried to buy 400 kilos of fertilizer. So this was recently in Sweden. So he was arrested. He's not the first guy that has been suspected of this stuff in Sweden as of late. There's been a worryingly increase of this kind of stuff in Sweden as of late. Here in other stories, a woman was out swimming in the lake. She was surrounded and sexually assaulted by a gang of youths during swimming. Ethnicity unspecified, of course. The police, they didn't do anything more with the case because they didn't have time to deal with it. Which reminds me, I recently read from the Swedish police. They said that, quote, "It's much, much worse than people realize. We're only hairs width away from losing control," unquote. And that's from the Swedish police themselves. Yeah, and I think it is much worse than people realize, because the Swedish police are on their knees at the moment. They are really struggling. They don't have enough funding. They don't have enough police officers. Police officers are quitting. I think it's one police officer a day is quitting at the moment. And at this rate, there's not going to be many police officers left soon. It's really a big problem in Sweden at the moment. 70 police stations were shut down this summer in Sweden so far. So yeah. Here we have another story. A 29-year-old man from Eritrea. He wanted to buy furniture from a woman in the city of Kalix. But she got raped. He went inside, looked at some of the furniture, and then raped the woman he was going to buy furniture from. He said to the woman, quote, "I love you," as he raped her. I don't know, is this some kind of culture clash? Or what's going on? Why? Is there a culture clash? Why are they doing this? Why is it happening? I met with a guy from Eritrea, a migrant in Sicily. He seemed like a nice guy, but there was definitely a culture clash, it seemed. Yeah. And no, the guys in the comment section here are asking about Viking helmets, if they had horns. No, they did not have horns. Just to put that aside. And guess how much this guy who raped the woman in Kalix, this Eritrean guy, guess how much prison or jail he got? Let's have a competition. You guys in the comments section, have a guess. Leave a suggestion how many years prison he got. He did get years this time, not months, as some other guys have gotten. He did actually get years prison. So have a guess. How many years prison do you think this guy got? One guy here is guessing 0 years, 2 years, 3 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 months, 2 years. Kind of good guesses. He got 2.5 years. 2.5 years prison he got, this guy. So yeah. Oh, and let's go on to this. I have 2 more stories, and then we're going to finish this live stream. So you remember earlier in this live stream, I talked about 81.5% of young women in Uppsala are afraid to go outside alone. But are afraid to go outside. Here's another statistic that came out recently. 6 out of 10 Swedish women, so this is the whole of Sweden, not just in one city. 60% of Swedish women now feel unsafe to go outside after dark. This is up from, I believe, the last research I had, which was just half a year ago, so in the beginning of 2017. So that was from last year, I believe. 30% of Swedish women were afraid to go outside. Now, 6 months later, it's 60% of Swedish women are afraid to go outside after dark. Wow, that's a very big increase. I wonder why. I wonder why. One person arrested in Sweden for raping a 9-year-old girl in the city of Örebro. Not much more info on the guy or who did it or who was arrested. That's hate speech. But well, it's racist, at least. The left claims, at least. But I can add that Örebro is a very heavily migrant area, especially a few areas in Örebro are very heavily migrant. There's even a few no-go zones in Örebro, or problem areas there. So you can get your suspicions of what's going on. But yeah, that's all of the news topics I wanted to cover for this live stream, I think. Do you guys have any? I would always like to do a little bit Q&A before I finish the live stream, as you probably know. So any questions here in live stream about today's topics, let me know. And I'll try and answer them before we finish this live stream in about 5 minutes here. So let me know here any questions about, any comments about today's coverage. And I'll try and answer them here in the chat for you guys. I haven't seen any comments yet. If you have any comments, let me know. Okay, what's the latest situation in Sweden regarding the police officers resigning? Well, I just covered that. It's still very bad. 80% of the Swedish police officers considering quitting. Police stations shutting down left, right, and center because they don't have enough funding. In one area, in the count of Jämtland, which is as big as the whole of Denmark, they only had 2 police cars covering the whole area during the night. Green Dreams want me to interview some women that feel unsafe. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. I probably will do that. Thanks a lot there for the comment there, Alex. There's Varun asked, any more interviews coming soon? I don't have any interviews at the moment that's coming. Oh, yes, I do. I have an interview with a migrant from Sicily that's coming. I have a hidden camera interview with Oxfam. It's going to be so great. About how they're helping migrants down in Sicily. On your money, on your donations, and also on George Soros donations, of course. So that's coming. I will be uploading a video from Sicily later today. That's coming. One suggestion, one thing I've been thinking of doing is starting to cover a lot more people who have had their kids taken by social services, interviewing loads more couples that have had their kids taken. It's especially bad in Norway. What do you guys think of that suggestion? I want to get a lot of views on them though, because this is something that needs to get out, and I would need your help with that to share them and get them out. Young dude here says that he just tuned in. Well, I've just been covering news from Sweden, lots of stuff going on, people who have been raped, beheadings, bombings in Sweden, different stuff going on in Sweden, basically. You can watch the live stream again. It will be up my channel when I finish the stream. You can watch what we talked about. People want me to go to the women-only festival in Sweden. Maybe, I don't know. I'm a little bit careful in going to Sweden at the moment for reasons. Guy here asks if Sweden Democrats will win. I think they will. That's my gut feeling from what it looks like in the polls. Yeah, it is illegal to have pepper spray or knife to defend yourself in Sweden. just going through your comments here. Thanks out there, Samper, and from all nice comments here as well in the live chat. I think this will be it for this live stream. I have quite a lot of stuff to still do here before I go to bed. Tonight, it's almost 12 o'clock here where I am now. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't done so, share this with your friends if you want to, if you think it's interesting. And especially share my other videos from Sicily because they need to get out. And I'll see you guys later. And thank you so much for watching. Oh, and do remember to check out my new website as well, petersweden.com.